Hi, my name is Philippe. I go by Mr. Opera on YouTube. If you're here looking for the This Is Opera channel and trying to find out where all the videos have gone, I don't know. My fight with This Is Opera started because I saw their materials and I have experienced many iterations of this old school thing. I've been a student of singing for 20 years, case after case of teachers claiming they come from some special lineage. None of it's true. None of these people actually have any connection to old school singers, the golden age of recording opera that you fell in love with. It's got nothing to do with anything. So my beef with them started because I noticed they weren't demonstrating anything. So other people were being judged on their demonstrations. But This Is Opera claimed that we should judge them based on the demonstrations of singers from the golden age of recording opera. That didn't make much sense to me. So I started my campaign against them. And yeah, it was a campaign. Then one day last summer, I started getting some very disturbing reports. Among them was a former student of Jeremiah Silver who claimed, and I quote, "He almost raped me." Now, I was really curious how this could happen with internet lessons, and so I asked, and it turned out that this person had actually gone in person to study with Maestro Silver. That really changed the calculus for me. I had a new sense of urgency once I started getting reports not only from this young man, but from multiple other victims. Now, these other victims were not claiming that they went in person and not claiming that Mr. Silver almost raped them. What they told me about instead was a pattern of unwelcome sexual advances experienced by young male students of Maestro Silver. Some of these were actually coercive experiences where Mr. Silver was telling them if they didn't comply, they would be ejected from the group. When I talked to these young men about telling their story, they all requested anonymity, except for one. The reason these people were so concerned about having their name exposed is that they were afraid of the consequences. As someone who's been fighting This Is Opera publicly, I can tell you they had a good reason to be afraid. If you've been participating in the coordinated trolling and harassment that this group is now infamous for, please stop. You're welcome here if you're interested in changing your ways. You're never going to fix opera by making opera singers feel like it's the worst job on the planet. Opera singers need your support and they need your kindness. They don't need criticism from people who can't themselves do any of the things that they claim to be able to do. I'm hoping that the experience of This Is Opera can teach us two important things. The first important thing is that if you don't test your ideas, if you don't put yourself under pressure and actually perform, you really don't know what you're talking about when it comes to singing. The second thing I'm hoping we all learn is that although they were correct in terms of the level of singing changing in opera over the years, they were part of that same problem, because it's not a question of opera singers not trying hard, and it's not a question that we don't choose from among the best opera singers when we are casting operas. The problem instead is that in general, singers have been trained to take advice on how to sing from people who can't do it themselves. That's a little bit like someone who doesn't paint telling painters how to paint. Sure, your ideas seem like they make a lot of sense to you because you haven't tested them. You've never been surprised by how wrong you can be. Now, that's a crucial difference between learning from a pro who actually knows what they're talking about and listening to people who appoint themselves as experts and have never had to test anything, who have never had the experience of actually stepping on stage and watching their whole technique in everything they imagine they can do break down into nothing. I'm really hoping we learn a lesson here. So yeah,